first tattoo was the front of my chest right here, and it was basically, you know, I was 15 years old and rebellious, and I liked how it looked. I was into the goth thing at the time, so I went for the rose and the cross in the 80s. That was it. I started getting tattooed when I was like 15 years old, so a long time ago, and I've been coming here. I've known the owner for like, I don't know, 12 years, so this is the best shop in Marin. So that's why I come here.
I had a friend that had a band, and he was going to name it the Spider Murphys Quartet, and I kind of nicked it from him, but I think it was taken from an Elvis Presley song. And he was like an old session player, like jazz and blues musician. It just sounded like a crusty sailor or something, you know. It had that kind of feel. I mean, I think doing good tattoos is part of it, and definitely, you know, that you would think that would be the mainstay of the thing, but in the end, I think a lot of it's how you treat people. I think people remember that. I mean, there's so many different reasons that people get tattooed, and it means different things to different people. There's people that really want a tattoo and want a specific thing. There's people that really love the art of tattooing and want big involved stuff. There's people that just want the experience. It's almost like there's a list of things that they're checking off their life, like, okay, did that one, did what, you know, bungee jumping, got a tattoo, whatever, you know, and I think for some people getting a little tattoo is more about the experience than it is even the image or the thing, and you can really tell by what they choose. People that come in, they're like, I want my astrological sign or something, you know, because it's like, in the end, what does that really mean to you, you know? I think it's just about doing it. So I think a lot of that, in that case especially, it's how you treat people, and if they feel like they had a good experience, you know. So I kind of built the shop on the idea that tattooing classically has been a pretty dodgy business, you know, and the reputation of it was always like some grumpy old guy, you know, maybe biker guy, and it was kind of scummy and dirty and open late, and they were mean to you and this whole thing, you know. So it's like, to a certain degree, I'm trying to kind of counter that, you know, give people the good things about that, the kind of circusy element of it, and kind of take away some of the stuff that people are fearful or apprehensive about, you know.
My name's Brandon, and I just manage, set up shop, and needles, grommets, rubber bands, and the machine. And keep the place running, get the guys what they need, set them up when they need to be set up, break it down when it's time to break it down. Keep everything clean, sterile, and make the place friendly. Or unfriendly, depending on the day, right? You got everything that got set up to do it needs to be broken down, so we can start the thing all over again. Most of which is just throwing shit in the trash and then sterilizing what needs to be sterilized. Rinse cups come back here into the sterilization room, where eventually those will go into here, which is ultrasonic, which helps get the ink off before they get scrubbed and thrown in the autoclave.
I mean, I think if I was going to get more tattoos, I'm sure I will, I would get tattooed by people that I think what they do is really special, or, you know, that they have their own voice in it. Hey, can you guys close the door? You know, people that have their own voice, like a really recognizable style. You know, for me anymore, it's less and less about the actual thing or the, you know, image. It almost becomes more about the person doing it, and if they have a really neat thing about what they do and the way they do it, you know. So I don't know if I can answer that question specifically, but I mean, I have a tremendous amount of respect for Ed Hardy. You know, I don't know. most of the people that I really love in tattooing are dead or not tattooing anymore. So,
could you name a couple of those inspirations?
Yeah, Ed Hardy's one. Dan Higgs is another one. Was a huge influence on me. Freddie Corbin is still tattooing and was a big influence on me. Younger tattooer that, like, you know, kind of inspired me. And then older tattooers that aren't around anymore from the 20s and 30s, Owen Jensen, Burt Grimm, like people like that. I mean, I think I get a lot of satisfaction out of it. Sometimes anymore, honestly, like the kind of tattooing I do specifically is so involved in such a long process and spans such a length of time. Like some customers that come in, I don't see the end of their tattoo for 2 years sometimes. So it's really hard to kind of, you know, in my mind, I'm done a year into it. Like, you know, I kind of know where it's going. So by the time it's done, I'm just like so emotionally sapped from the whole thing. And the funnest thing to do is like tattoos that big that you can do in 2 sittings or 1 sitting, you know, start to finish, and you look at it and you feel like, wow, I really did something. You know, that's why that classic American stuff's so fun, because people get it. You know, that's like what tattoo conventions always are, collector tattoos. People get like a suit and like one thing they can finish, you know, start to finish. That's really satisfying, because you get to see it, you know, when you're done. There it is, you know. But anymore, like with big stuff like that, it's like hard to even keep my eye on that ball. But you know, honestly, I mean, a lot of it is beyond my love of art, and thinking that it's still neat. Like I'm still in love with it enough to, you know, I think it's neat too. I'm a fan of it. Like making people happy and seeing a look on someone's face, and you know, it's a special thing. It's a big deal for people. I think sometimes that's like underrated, or tattooers get so jaded they forget that, like what a big deal it is for people. Hypey rap.
Just for the studio. That doesn't really
We're debating hypey. What do you guys think hypey means? Like hypey rap.
Hypey or
Hypey. It means like uppity and fucking high energy.
I think it's spelled H-Y-P-H because it's Y, because it's like plural for hyper. You know, uppity.
Yeah.
Uppity. Bouncy.
When you say uppity, that means like
Hype's hyper.
that to me.
Hyper.
Bunch of
What's
white
this?
people discussing this shit.
No, well, what do you think hypey means?